Hey Cancer, welcome back to the channel. So I pulled cards for you today, and honestly, what came through is something pretty wild. We are talking about your enemies, the people who doubted you, the ones who thought they had you figured out. And let me tell you, the energy here is absolutely fascinating, because they are about to be completely speechless, like genuinely questioning everything they thought they knew about you. Before we dive into these cards, I just want to say this reading really surprised me because the universe is showing me this massive shift happening for you, Cancer. The people who underestimated you, the ones who counted you out, they are going to witness something that completely changes their perception. And the best part is you are not even doing this for them. You are doing this for yourself, and that makes it even more powerful. All right, so let me shuffle the deck here and see what Spirit wants to show us about this whole situation. The question we are asking today is, what is Cancer doing that is going to leave their enemies absolutely speechless and questioning everything they thought they knew? Let me pull these cards and we will break down exactly what the universe is telling us. Okay, so the first card I am pulling for you, Cancer, is the Queen of Cups. And wow, this is already speaking volumes. The Queen of Cups represents emotional mastery, deep intuition, and this incredible ability to navigate feelings with grace and wisdom. What I am seeing here is that your enemies, the people who doubted you, they completely misread your emotional nature. They saw your sensitivity as weakness. They thought your compassion meant you were naive. They believed that because you feel deeply, you could be easily manipulated or broken down. But here is what they are about to discover, Cancer. Your emotional intelligence is actually your superpower. While they were busy trying to use your feelings against you, you were actually developing this profound understanding of human nature. You were learning to read people, to sense intentions, to navigate complex emotional landscapes with incredible skill. The Queen of Cups is not someone who gets overwhelmed by emotions. She is someone who has mastered them, who can sit with any feeling without being consumed by it. What is going to leave them speechless is when they realize that you saw through everything all along. You knew what they were doing. You understood their motivations. You recognized their insecurities and manipulations. But instead of reacting the way they expected, instead of breaking down or lashing out, you chose a different path. You chose to respond with wisdom and grace. You chose to protect your energy and focus on your own growth. And here's the thing about the Queen of Cups energy. She does not need to prove anything to anyone. She does not need to call people out publicly or engage in drama. Her power comes from her inner knowing, from her ability to stay centered in her truth, regardless of what chaos is happening around her. So your enemies are going to be speechless because they cannot figure out how you stayed so calm, so composed, so unbothered by their attempts to shake you. They are going to start questioning their whole strategy. They thought they knew how to get to you. They thought they had mapped out all your vulnerabilities. But now they are watching you thrive with this peaceful, serene energy, and it is completely throwing them off. They cannot understand how someone they targeted is now radiating this kind of inner peace and confidence. It is going to mess with their heads in the best way possible. The second card coming through is the Hanged Man in Cancer. This card is absolutely perfect for what is happening right now. The Hanged Man represents surrender, new perspectives, and this willingness to pause and see things from a completely different angle. What I am picking up here is that while your enemies were busy moving aggressively, trying to force outcomes, trying to control situations, you did something they never expected. You stepped back. This is what is going to leave them absolutely confused. They were waiting for you to fight back in the way they anticipated. They expected you to engage in their games, to meet their energy with the same aggressive tactics. But instead, you chose to detach. You chose to view the entire situation from a higher perspective. You realized that their opinion of you, their attempts to diminish you, their whole agenda actually has nothing to do with you and everything to do with their own insecurities. The Hanged Man energy is about voluntary pause, about choosing to let go of the need to control every outcome. And this is incredibly powerful because while they were expending all this energy trying to bring you down, you were using that time to gain clarity, to understand yourself better, to develop a completely new way of approaching life. You were doing the inner work that actually transforms a person. What is making them speechless now is that they cannot figure out your next move. They thought they had you cornered, thought they knew exactly what you would do. But you have completely changed your approach. You are no longer operating from the same consciousness that they tried to manipulate. You have evolved beyond their understanding, and now they are standing there trying to use old tactics against a completely new. version of you, I am seeing that this shift in perspective you have gained is going to manifest in very tangible ways. Maybe you are making decisions that seem counterintuitive to others, but make perfect sense to you. Maybe you are walking away from things that everyone else thinks you should fight for because you can see that those things were never meant for you anyway. Maybe you are embracing situations that others would avoid because you understand the growth, opportunity hidden within them. Your enemies are going to be questioning everything because you are not following their script anymore. You are not reacting the way they predicted. You are not making the moves they anticipated. And this unpredictability that comes from genuine inner transformation is absolutely throwing them off balance. They are realizing that they never really knew you at all, that they completely underestimated the depth of your wisdom and the strength of your character. Now, the third card is the Nine of Cups. And okay, Cancer, this is where things get really interesting. The Nine of Cups is literally called the wish fulfillment card. This is about getting what you truly desire, about emotional satisfaction, about reaching a state where you feel genuinely content and fulfilled. What the universe is showing me here is that while your enemies were focused on trying to tear you down, you were quietly building the life you actually wanted. This is what is going to leave them absolutely speechless. They are going to watch you achieve things they did not think you were capable of. They are going to see you reach goals they assumed were out of your reach. They are going to witness you living a life that looks nothing like the limited future they predicted for you. And the most frustrating part for them is that you did all of this without their validation, without their approval, without needing them to believe in you. The Nine of Cups represents authentic happiness that comes from within. This is not about superficial success or trying to prove something to others. This is about you genuinely creating a life that aligns with your values, that brings you real joy, that feels fulfilling on a soul level. And that authenticity is what makes this so powerful because they cannot dismiss it as fake or temporary. What I am seeing is that you have been doing the work to understand what actually makes you happy, what you truly want out of life, separate from what society expects or what other people think you should want. And as you start manifesting these genuine desires, as you start living in alignment with your true self, it creates this undeniable energy that others can feel. Your enemies are going to sense that you are operating from a place of real fulfillment, and it is going to shake them because they cannot take that away from you. They thought they could diminish your happiness by spreading negativity or creating obstacles. But what they are discovering is that your happiness does not depend on external circumstances or other people's opinions. You have found this inner well of contentment that cannot be touched by their jealousy or their attempts to sabotage you. And that realization is going to leave them absolutely questioning everything they thought they knew about power and control. The fourth card I am pulling is the Queen of Swords, and wow, Cancer, this energy is sharp. The Queen of Swords represents clear communication, intellectual power, and this ability to see through lies and manipulation with absolute clarity. What is coming through here is that your enemies severely underestimated your mental strength and your ability to think strategically. They might have mistaken your emotional nature for confusion or weakness in judgment. They thought that because you feel deeply, you could not also think clearly. But what they are about to witness is that you have both emotional intelligence and intellectual precision. You can feel all your feelings and still make calculated strategic decisions. You can be compassionate and still set firm boundaries. You can be sensitive and still communicate your truth with unwavering clarity. The Queen of Swords energy is about cutting through nonsense. She does not tolerate manipulation, gaslighting, or mind games. She sees the truth of every situation, and she is not afraid to speak it. What I am seeing is that you have reached a point where you are done playing small, done accepting treatment that does not honor your worth, done staying silent about things that need to be addressed. Your enemies are going to be speechless when you start speaking your truth with this kind of clarity and conviction. They are used to you being accommodating, maybe avoiding confrontation to keep the peace. But now you have found your voice, and when you speak with such precision and truth that it is impossible to dismiss or argue against. You are stating facts, pointing out patterns, calling out behavior with such calm certainty that it completely disarms them. What makes the Queen of Swords so powerful is that she does not get emotional when delivering truth. She does not need to raise her voice or get heated. She simply states what is, clearly and directly, and then she moves on. There is no room for debate because she is not coming from a place of anger or vendetta. She is simply committed to honesty and integrity in all her interactions. Your enemies are going to be questioning how you became so articulate, so clear-minded, so impossible to manipulate with words. They are going to realize that their old tactics of confusing you, twisting your words, or making you doubt your own perceptions are not working anymore. You have sharpened your mental clarity to the point where you can see through any deception instantly. And that awareness, combined with your willingness to speak truth, is going to leave them completely stunned and unable to respond. The fifth card is the King of Swords, and this is fascinating, Cancer, because now we have both the Queen and King of Swords showing up. This is all about intellectual mastery, authority, and this commanding presence that comes from having complete clarity and confidence in your mental abilities. The King of Swords takes the energy of the Queen and amplifies it with authority and decisive action. What I am getting here is that you are stepping into a position of power and authority that your enemies never saw coming. They thought they could keep you in a subordinate position, make you doubt your own intelligence, convince you that you needed their guidance or approval. But you have been developing your skills, educating yourself, building expertise, and now you are emerging as someone who commands respect in your field or area of focus. The King of Swords represents mastery. This is someone who has put in the work to become truly knowledgeable, truly skilled, truly capable of making important decisions with confidence. Your enemies are going to be speechless when they see you taking leadership roles, making strategic moves, demonstrating expertise that they did not know you had. They're going to question how you got so capable, so authoritative, so clearly in command of your domain. What makes this especially powerful is that the King of Swords does not need external validation. He knows his worth, he knows his capabilities, he has the receipts to back up everything he claims. So when your enemies try to diminish your accomplishments or question your authority, you will have the knowledge, the experience, and the results to prove them wrong without even breaking a sweat. I am also seeing that this King of Swords energy is about making tough decisions that others might shy away from. You are going to demonstrate the courage to cut ties with situations that no longer serve you, to enforce boundaries that might upset people, to make choices that prioritize your long-term success over short-term comfort. This decisiveness is going to shock people who thought you were too soft or too accommodating to make hard calls. Your enemies are going to watch you command rooms, lead projects, make strategic decisions, and demonstrate intellectual prowess that completely contradicts the narrative they created about you. They are going to be forced to confront the fact that they completely misjudged your intelligence and your potential. And that realization is going to be so uncomfortable for them because it means they have to reconsider everything they thought they understood about you and about themselves. The sixth card coming through is the Eight of Pentacles in Cancer. This is absolutely beautiful because this card represents mastery through dedication, skill development, and consistent hard work. What the universe is showing me here is that while your enemies were talking, gossiping, and wasting energy on trying to bring you down, you were working. You were putting in the hours. You were developing your craft. You were becoming exceptional at what you do. The Eight of Pentacles is that energy of showing up every single day and putting in focused effort to improve your skills. This is not about overnight success or lucky breaks. This is about dedication, discipline, and the willingness to do the work that others are not willing to do. And Cancer, I am seeing that you have been on this journey of mastery, quietly perfecting your craft while everyone else was distracted by drama. What is going to leave your enemies absolutely speechless is the level of skill and expertise you are going to demonstrate. They are going to see the quality of your work, the depth of your knowledge, the refinement of your abilities, and they are not going to be able to deny that you are good at what you do. Like genuinely talented and skilled in a way that cannot be dismissed or diminished. This card is telling me that you are entering a phase where your work starts speaking for itself. You do not need to defend your abilities or convince anyone of your worth because the results are undeniable. The quality of what you produce, the impact of your contributions, the mastery you demonstrate is going to be so clear that even your harshest critics cannot ignore it. Your enemies are going to be forced to acknowledge your competence, and that is going to be such a difficult pill for them to swallow. They invested so much energy in trying to make you look incompetent, trying to convince others that you were not capable, trying to sabotage your opportunities. But now they have to watch you succeed based purely on merit, based on the undeniable quality of your work. What I love about the Eight of Pentacles is that it represents sustainable success built on real skill. This is not flash-in-the-pan achievement that fades quickly. This is the foundation for long-term excellence. You are building a reputation based on consistent delivery of high-quality work, and that reputation is going to open doors that your enemies cannot close. They are going to watch opportunities come to you because people recognize your value and want to work with someone of your caliber. The seventh card is the Seven of Cups, and this is interesting because the Seven of Cups represents choices, possibilities, and the ability to discern between illusions and reality. What I am picking up here is that your enemies tried to confuse you with too many options, tried to overwhelm you with possibilities to keep you scattered and unfocused. They might have presented tempting offers that were actually traps, or they might have tried to make you doubt your path by pointing out all the other directions you could go. But here is what is making them speechless now, Cancer. You have developed the ability to see through illusions. You can tell the difference between genuine opportunities and distractions designed to derail you. You have clarity about what you truly want, and you are no longer getting sidetracked by shiny objects that do not align with your real goals. The Seven of Cups can represent confusion, but it also represents the development of discernment. What I am seeing is that you went through a period where you might have felt overwhelmed by choices or uncertain about which path to take. But you did the inner work to get clear on your values, your priorities, your authentic desires. And now, when opportunities present themselves, you have this ability to quickly assess whether they align with your true path or whether they are distractions. Your enemies are going to be questioning how you became so focused and clear-minded. They thought they could keep you spinning in confusion, second-guessing yourself, unable to commit to a direction. But instead, you have emerged with crystal clarity about your purpose and your path. You are saying no to things that do not serve you, even when those things look appealing on the surface. You are choosing quality over quantity in every area of your life. What makes this so powerful is that this discernment extends to people as well. You can now see through false friendships, manipulative tactics, and insincere offers of help. You are no longer falling for the illusions that people try to sell you. You see people for who they really are, not who they pretend to be. And this clarity is protecting you from the kind of manipulation that might have worked on you in the past. Your enemies are speechless because they cannot figure out how you got so wise, so discerning, so impossible to fool. They are realizing that their old tricks do not work anymore because you can see right through them. You are making choices based on genuine alignment rather than fear or people-pleasing, and that authenticity is creating results they never expected you to achieve. The eighth card I am drawing for you is the Eight of Cups, and wow, Cancer. This is such a powerful card for this reading. The Eight of Cups represents walking away from situations that no longer serve your highest good, even when that decision is difficult. This is about having the courage to leave behind things that might look good on paper, but do not fulfill you emotionally or spiritually. What is going to leave your enemies absolutely speechless is your willingness to walk away. They thought they had you trapped. They thought you needed their approval, their opportunities, their presence in your life. They thought you were too attached to the current situation to make a change. But you are going to shock everyone by simply walking away from things that do not align with your growth and evolution. The Eight of Cups is not about running away or giving up. This is about conscious choice to seek something deeper, something more meaningful, something that truly resonates with your soul. What I am seeing is that you have reached a point where you value your peace, your growth, and your authentic happiness more than you value external success or other people's opinions. Your enemies are going to be questioning everything when they see you leave situations they thought you desperately wanted to be part of. Maybe you are walking away from a job they thought you would never give up. Maybe you are ending relationships they assumed you needed. Maybe you are leaving behind social circles or opportunities that others would fight to keep. And you are doing it with such calm certainty that it completely confuses them. What makes this so powerful is that you are not walking away in anger or bitterness. The Eight of Cups represents a spiritual journey, a quest for deeper meaning. You are leaving because you have outgrown certain situations, because you recognize that staying would mean settling for less than you deserve. Your enemies thought they could manipulate you by dangling carrots or creating fear around leaving, but you have reached a level of self-worth where you would rather have nothing than have something that diminishes your spirit. They are going to watch you walk away and then watch you thrive in your new direction. They are going to see that what they thought was a mistake was actually the best decision you ever made. They are going to realize that you did not need the things they thought had power over you. And that realization is going to force them to question their own life choices and whether they have the courage to seek authentic fulfillment, the way you did. The ninth card is the Five of Cups, and this card is showing me that your enemies are going to experience deep regret and disappointment. The Five of Cups represents loss, grief, and the feeling of focusing on what went wrong while missing what is still available. What I am getting here is that your enemies are going to be stuck in a cycle of regret about how they treated you while you are out there living your best life. They are going to be speechless because they are going to realize too late that they lost something valuable when they decided to become your enemy. Maybe they lost a loyal friend, a supportive colleague, a genuine connection. Maybe they lost opportunities that came through you that they did not appreciate at the time. Maybe they lost the chance to be part of your success story because they were too busy trying to tear you down. The Five of Cups shows someone standing with their back to cups that are still standing, focused only on the cups that have spilled. This is exactly what your enemies are going to experience. They are going to be so focused on their regret, their missed opportunities, their realization that they misjudged you, that they cannot even appreciate what they still have in their own lives. Their obsession with what they lost by underestimating you is going to consume them. What makes this particularly powerful, Cancer, is that you are not going to be affected by their regret. You are not going to take them back into your life just because they finally recognize your worth. You have moved on. You have found fulfillment elsewhere. Their regret is their problem to deal with, not yours to fix. And this boundary, this refusal to accept breadcrumbs of recognition after they tried to destroy you, is going to leave them even more speechless. They are going to question why they were so cruel, so dismissive, so determined to see you fail. They are going to have moments where they clearly see their own jealousy and insecurity as the driving force behind their actions. And that self-awareness is going to be uncomfortable for them to sit with. They are going to wish they could go back and make different choices, but the damage is done, and you have already moved beyond them. The 10th and final card I am pulling for you, Cancer, is the Hierophant, and this is such a beautiful card to end on because the Hierophant represents traditional success, recognition from institutions, and respect from established systems and communities. What the universe is showing me here is that you are going to receive official recognition, legitimate success, and validation from sources that truly matter. Your enemies are going to be left speechless when they see you receive awards, promotions, certifications, or recognition from respected institutions or authorities in your field. They are going to watch you achieve the kind of success that cannot be dismissed as luck or connections. This is earned success, recognized by systems that have standards and credibility. The Hierophant represents playing by the rules and winning. While your enemies might have been taking shortcuts, spreading gossip, playing politics, you were doing things the right way. You were building real credentials, developing genuine expertise, earning respect through integrity and consistent excellence. And now that approach is paying off in ways that are undeniable and verifiable. What I am seeing is that you might receive some kind of official recognition, certification, or position of authority. Maybe you are becoming a teacher, a mentor, a leader in your field. Maybe you are getting published, featured, or credentialed in a way that establishes you as a legitimate authority. Whatever form this takes, it is going to be something your enemies cannot argue with or diminish, because it comes with the backing of established, respected systems. Your enemies are going to have to watch you become exactly what they said you could never be. They are going to see you step into roles they assumed were beyond your reach. They are going to witness you gain respect from people they respect, achieve recognition in circles they value. And they are not going to be able to dismiss it or find ways to tear it down because it is legitimate, earned, and backed by credible sources. The Hierophant also represents spiritual wisdom and moral authority. What I am picking up is that people are going to start coming to you for guidance, for advice, for wisdom. You are going to be seen as someone who has walked a difficult path with grace and integrity, and others are going to want to learn from your journey. This respect and recognition is going to frustrate your enemies because it represents everything they tried to prevent you from achieving. So Cancer, when I look at all 10 of these cards together, the story is absolutely clear. Your enemies are about to be completely speechless because you have transformed in ways they never anticipated. They thought they knew who you were, thought they had you figured out, thought they could predict and control your future. But you have evolved so far beyond their limited perception, a view that they literally do not know what to do with. The person you have become, they are going to be questioning everything. They are going to wonder how you got so emotionally mature, so intellectually sharp, so skilled in your craft, so clear in your vision, so confident in your worth. They are going to be forced to confront the reality that every assumption they made about you was wrong. Every prediction they made about your failure was inaccurate. Every attempt to limit you or control you only made you stronger and more determined. What makes this so beautiful is that you did not do any of this to prove them wrong. You did this for yourself, for your own growth, for your own peace and fulfillment. Their shock and confusion is just a side effect of you living authentically and pursuing your genuine path. You were not trying to make them speechless, but your authentic evolution naturally has that effect, because it is so far beyond what they thought possible. The universe is really emphasizing that you are entering a phase of undeniable success and recognition. The work you have been doing in private is going to become public. The skills you have been developing are going to be showcased. The wisdom you have been cultivating is going to be sought after, and your enemies are going to have front row seats to watch you become everything they said you could never be. I want to encourage you, Cancer, to stay focused on your own path and not get distracted by their reactions. Their speechlessness, their regret, their confusion is not your concern. You do not owe them explanations. You do not need to rub your success in their faces. You do not have to engage with their attempts to suddenly acknowledge you now that you are thriving. Keep your energy focused on continuing to build the beautiful life you are creating. The cards are showing me that this is just the beginning. The momentum you are building right now is going to carry you to even greater heights. Keep developing your skills with that Eight of Pentacles dedication. Keep speaking your truth with that Queen and King of Swords clarity. Keep walking away from what does not serve you with that Eight of Cups courage. Keep discerning real opportunities from distractions with that Seven of Cups wisdom. Keep embodying that Queen of Cups emotional mastery and that Hierophant integrity. Thank you so much for being here, Cancer. I hope this reading resonated with you and gave you insight into the powerful energy you are carrying right now.